Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Mindful Stillness. Tonight, I want to talk about falling in love with the process. Falling in love with the process. We live in a world obsessed with results. We want the success, the peace, the purpose, but we don't want to take the process that shapes it. We pray for growth, then curse the soil that buries the seed. But the truth is, the process is where life happens. It's where Yeshua does his best work, in the waiting, in the breaking, in the becoming. And if you can learn to fall in love with the process, you'll discover that the journey is the reward. Everybody wants transformation, but few want to be transformed, because being transformed means something has to die. Your pride, your comfort, your old habits. Yeshua said, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. That means the breaking isn't punishment, it's preparation. The waiting isn't delay, it's development. The silence isn't absent, it's alignment. But most of us want to skip that part, don't we? We want the victory without the valley, the promise without the process. We forget that Yeshua himself spent 30 years preparing for a 3-year ministry. 30 years of quiet obedience before his name was even spoken in public. And we get frustrated, when our own story takes time. But maybe the delay is divine. Maybe what you call waiting is heaven building something, that can't be rushed. See, when you fall in love with the process, you stop asking, how long will this take? And you start asking, what is this teaching me? Every challenge becomes a classroom. Every pain becomes a tool. And the moment you stop fighting the process, you begin to see the fingerprints of God in places you never thought he'd be. In the struggle, in the silence, even in the heartbreak. There's beauty in the unseen seasons, the moment nobody claps for, the late nights when you're questioning if it's worth it, the prayers that feel like they're hitting the ceiling. Those are the spaces where character is formed and faith becomes real. Because it's one thing to trust God when life feels good, but it's another to trust him when everything feels uncertain and still say, I know this process is working for my good. Yeshua never promised easy days, but he promised his presence, and that's enough. You see, the process is sacred because it humbles you. It teaches you that strength doesn't come from avoiding storms, but from standing in them. It teaches you that healing isn't instant, it's layered. It teaches you that purpose doesn't show up in one grand moment. It's built through small, faithful steps every day. And if you keep walking, keep believing, keep surrendering, you'll realize that every detour was direction. Every loss was love in disguise. Every season was shaping you for something eternal. But don't forget, no one is promised to live to see tomorrow. So stop waiting for the perfect time to start. This is time. Start showing up for yourself. Start forgiving. Start building. Start becoming. Fall in love with what God is doing in you, and not just what you hope he'll do for you. because the process you're in right now may be the very answer to the prayer you prayed years ago. So before you die, learn to fall in love with the process, because one day when stillness comes and takes your final breath, you won't remember the trophies or the titles or the likes. You'll remember who you became along the way. And I hope you can smile, because you didn't just endure the process, you embraced it. And in doing so, you walked every step with Yeshua. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I want you all to have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. Goodbye.